Please go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture. Allow your body to settle and to be still. Become a mountain with consciousness. And when you're ready in your own time, please gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Become the silent observer of sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. Just be the silent observer of these sensations and allow a more tranquil, supple, non-conceptual state of awareness to emerge. It may be that the sensations remain in your hands and your feet. If this is your experience, this is a perfectly valid method of practice. It may be that the sensations begin to travel up into your arms and your legs, perhaps into the region of your abdomen, perhaps into the region of your chest. If this is your experience, this is also a perfectly valid method of practice. It may be that you observe one universal sensation extending from the crown of your head to the tips of your fingers and the soles of your feet and all space in between. This is the deeper meaning of this practice. This is the deeper method of this practice. Whichever is your experience, please allow it to unfold gently, organically, of its own accord. All that is asked of you is to silently observe. Anywhere within your body that you observe a sensation, you can know that there is consciousness at that place. This demonstrates the interconnectedness, the non-duality of your body and your mind. This is a profoundly meaningful and important experience to have. the fact that you are able to experience directly the fact that your body and your mind are not separate is an experience of non-duality. This is not separate from that. That is not separate from anything. Please just continue to be the silent observer, like a mountain with consciousness. No judgment, no labeling, no comparing, no expectation. Now, please very gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this entity we've decided to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of physical body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside the room that you are occupying. Become aware again of the world that exists outside of the room that you are occupying. Become aware again of nearby mountains, of nearby oceans, of nearby continents, of nearby planets. We dedicate all of the merit from this morning's meditation to world peace. May all beings without exception be completely and permanently freed from all forms of emotional and physical suffering. May all beings soon come to rest in perfect fearlessness. May all beings without exception be happy, peaceful, contented, and free. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back, friends. So, this meditation on the inner body, so meaningful and so powerful and profound, so many profound insights to be had from this practice. One that we have been focusing on. We focused on it last class on Monday, and I, referred to it in this morning's meditation, is that through meditation on the inner body, we can have a direct experience of non-duality, a direct experience of the fact that our body and our mind are not separate. And by achieving a deep and stable experience of that non-duality, we can extend that realization to other events, other phenomena in our life, in our world. Namely, we can have a direct experience of the fact that my happiness and suffering are not separate from your happiness and suffering. That's a really big one, maybe the biggest one, because if we look carefully, we'll see that all of the problems that arise in our life, all the problems that arise in this world, arise from dualistic view, this belief that my happiness and suffering are not separate from your happiness and suffering. I was talking with a friend, it was earlier this week, who was very discouraged and upset about the renewed warfare in Gaza, and it's tough. It's tough to observe that warfare and the suffering that is resulting. And if we look carefully, we'll see that those problems, all problems involving conflict among countries, arise from this confused, mistaken notion: my happiness and suffering is separate from your happiness and suffering. Our happiness and suffering are separate from your happiness and suffering. Our happiness and suffering are more important than your happiness and suffering. Yeah. Every single conflict, without exception, among countries arises from that mistaken notion. And, I don't think anybody who is listening to these, I don't think anybody on this Zoom meeting right now is the leader of a country. We have some people who watch the recording of this, of these classes on YouTube. Maybe there are some leaders of countries who are plugging in and listening to it. I hope so, actually. But our job isn't to spend an inordinate amount of time examining the behavior of leaders of other countries and saying, oh, here's the mistake they're making. No, it's for us to look homeward and look at our relationships with our neighbors, with our coworkers, with our husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends and roommates and housemates. yeah, fellow community members and try to apply our understanding of our experience of interconnectedness and bring peace and harmony within our relationships, and know that that will at some point extend to harmony and peace among countries and leaders of countries. Yeah, because nothing is separate from anything. Yeah, the happiness and the harmony, the peace and harmony in my relationships here in Silver City, New Mexico, are not separate from the peace and harmony of the Palestinians and the Israelis. At some level, they're not. So that's what we can do to try to get some relief from the sadness that comes from observing longstanding wars occurring between other countries, any sort of disharmony between countries. So, does anybody have anything that they would like to share, or any questions you'd like to ask? Tina, John, Tetta, Anne is here in the room with me. Anything you'd like to ask or anything you'd like to share? Yes, go ahead, Tina.
When you say that we can try to apply the experience of interconnectedness to kind of alleviate or I don't know, in some way spread that to kind of the larger world picture, do we do that through meditation and
Yeah,
our experience of interconnectedness through meditation? Does that is that way to do that, go inside as opposed to go outside?
that's such a great question. Thank you for that, Tina. Meditation at the end of the day is practice. It's practice in training our mind. um, and it's practice within a controlled, safe environment where we where we simply hopefully attain an experience of different beneficial states of mind, wisdom states of mind, um, like an experience of non-duality. Um, Another type of wisdom experience is emptiness. There are experiences or states of mind of compassion, of love, patient acceptance, um, kindness, humility, and so on. What we do through meditation is have uh, try to have those, attain those experiences within our mind, become increasingly familiar with them such that those experiences become increasingly stable, thus preparing us for the main event. I like to think of meditation as a dress rehearsal for the main event, which in the main event is daily life, living our day-to-day life. And, it's, I can't exactly tell you how the dots connect with regard to our meditating on the inner body, having an experience of non-duality, and then how that experience plays out in our daily life. All I can tell you is that it does. It does. You see, because, and this kind of will lead us in a little bit to our discussion of mantra yoga. A conceptual application of these teachings will not bring about fundamental change, right? A conceptual understanding and application of these teachings and these practices will not bring about fundamental change. The change comes about through non-conceptual awareness, non-conceptual experience. It's inauthentic at some level. Please don't take this as an insult. It's not authentic. It's not an authentic experience or event for us to go out into the world and say, oh, okay, so I learned on Friday morning class, I learned about non-duality and the fact that my happiness and suffering is not separate from this person who's pushing my buttons. But now that I have a conceptual understanding of the non-duality of our interconnectedness, then that's going to make things better. And everybody's going to benefit and there will be harmony and peace. It doesn't work that way. The only way it will work is if we become interconnectedness directly, without mental constructs, without concepts, without thinking about it. We just are that. We are that state of being. And how it translates from formal sitting meditation practice to the main event, I can't tell you how those dots connect, because to try to do so would involve a conceptual explanation involving mental, intellectual constructs. All I can tell you is that it does work that way. So it's for that reason that I just say, and what my teacher says, and what all the teachers say, is that just stay the course. Just stay the course. Do the practice for the sake of doing the practice without expectation of results, and just watch and see how it shows up in your daily life. Now, just one other kind of qualifier about this. When we go out into the world and we conceptually apply things like compassion and loving kindness and non-duality, that conceptual application is not valueless, right? It's, going out and saying, well, this person who's in line at the grocery store, this person at the grocery store who like cut in front of me, when you're at the grocery store and there are kind of two lines waiting for one of the cashiers to open up, and like you were first, but the other person either didn't see you or doesn't care and jumped in front of you, better to us, better for us, that the best is for us to be able to immediately and effortlessly, without thought, without concept, without conceptual application, just naturally default to this state of non-duality, recognizing that my happiness and suffering is not separate from the happiness and suffering of the person who just took my space in line at the grocery store. That's the ideal. And having to catch ourselves and say, wait a minute, I know better. Non-duality, I learned about this in Friday morning meditation, go through all the rest of it. Okay, so I'm just going to stay here, and I'm still not entirely happy about it, but I'm going to do my best to apply interconnectedness, a practice of interconnectedness. There's not value in that conceptual application of the teachings. It's better than creating a fuss and a ruckus and make the person feel really badly and creating a scene and having the grocery store security come out and try and resolve the dispute. Conceptual application is better than the alternative. But ultimately, what we want to get to is a natural, organic, just arising of this recognition and thus being at peace with it. Yeah. Thank you for that question, Tina. And you guys, thank you for being here. We're 3 minutes over. Just a couple of announcements. One is I'm going to be out of town next week, so no class on Monday or Friday next week. And also no Medicine Buddha meditation a week from tomorrow. We will have Medicine Buddha meditation tomorrow. What will that be? October 13th? Is that right? 13th? 14th? The 14th. We'll have Medicine Buddha meditation tomorrow morning on the 14th, but not the 21st. Okay. So thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Will you see the eclipse today where you are? I think you will.
I've heard we will. I hear that we're in good proximity for it.
We
Yeah.
are, but it will be tomorrow from 9 to
tomorrow.
Saturday.
We'll enjoy that.
Okay. Thank you, Tada. Thank you, Tina, John, and Ann.
Thank you, Jeff.
for being here. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.